Welcome everybody to Football Friday, where we discuss last week's football news today on Friday and a little bit more. Now let's get into it. So this is pretty big news, even if it wasn't a slow week. Quinnen Williams from the Jets, the defensive tackle that was a Pro Bowler last year, All-Pro last year, had 12 sacks. He got paid. He got paid $96 million, $66 million guaranteed for a 4-year contract. So it's like the Jets are actually trying to be competitive and a real team for the first time in my life. So it's really interesting, and I'm rooting for them. All right, the second biggest news is Alvin Kamara went ahead and went into a no contest plea with the state for his assault. Now, what that means is that he has to pay $105,000 in damages or in medical fees to the person, and he has to do 30 days of community service. But he also, that nobody's really talking about, it's like a side thing, is that he went into a private settlement to settle with the guy that he beat up, allegedly. I guess I don't know how that works. Anyways, allegedly beat up. He went into a plea deal with him privately, and he hasn't disclosed how much that was for. So either way, he's completely settled, except for the NFL. More than likely, he's going to receive multiple game suspension this year. If you're a Saints fan, that kind of sucks because you're not going to have him for probably the first 4 games, is my assumption. But again, that is from just my assumption, nothing out there. So we'll see as the weeks progress and what the league actually does to him. Coming up with another bad news, but from the AFC, the Chiefs superfan, the one that dresses like a wolf, he finally got caught. So he robbed a lot last year of all these different banks, and he was let out in February on an $80,000 bail. But he had an ankle bracelet on, and he cut it off and fled from authorities for 4 months, and he just got caught on Tuesday. And there is no bail for him to get out this time. But yeah, it's wild. All right, the next and last thing on today's video is my beautiful playoff projections. Yes, I went through every single game from every single team this year, went ahead and assigned a win or a loss to that team, went through all those records, and I'll go ahead and display those records that I came up with after this. But yeah, we have the playoff teams, or my way too early playoff teams. We're not even in August yet, so a lot of ways to go, but this is my projected playoff teams. Let's go ahead and start with the number 1 seed. So on the AFC, we have the 49ers, which had a 14-3 record. Then on the AFC side, we had the Buffalo Bills at a 13-4 record. Green Bay is number 2 seed. Yeah, I know there's a lot of explaining to do here, but it just worked its way out, and I'll show you a screenshot of all the games. You might not be able to see them clearly, but it just worked out this way, right? You have the ease of schedule coming into effect. You just have, matchups going. So this is how it all played out. Green Bay wins the North, and they go ahead and get the 2nd seed for the NFC. On the AFC side of things, you get the Cincinnati Bengals, which shared the same record as the Buffalo Bills. It's 13-4, but I went ahead and gave the Bills the win over the Bengals this year, so that actually broke the tiebreaker. So the Buffalo Bills got number 1, and Cincinnati got number 2. Number 3, Philly. It actually went down to a coin toss between Green Bay and Philly because they were both 12-5, but they lost. They got number 3 seed, and that's what it is. Kansas City had 12-5 on the AFC, but they were the only team, so they got the number 3 position. Carolina Panthers, they were 8-9, but their division sucked so bad that they still won the division and got a playoff seed. Jacksonville, however, did not suck and went 11-6, and that's pretty solid. Number 5 is the Rams. They went 12-5 as well, but again, they were under the 49ers that went, 14-3, so they only got the 5th seed. AFC got the Ravens at 11-6. It, again, just works out that way that they make it. Number 6, the Cowboys were 11-6. They also had the tiebreaker over the Lions, so the Lions were also 11-6, so it just works out that way. And Denver gets the tiebreaker and gets into that last playoff position at 10-7. What the fuck? Sean Payton turning it all around in my playoff projections. Now, I could get into it, but I'm just not gonna. You're just gonna go ahead and look and argue with me anyways, so these are them. If you're happy with them, let me know. If you're upset about them, let me know. But it just works out that way, and these are my projected playoff teams in the future here. Some other call-outs that I have from this list that I went ahead and made is the Cardinals went 2-15. Kyler Murray is going to miss part of the season, so that was kind of the fault in the beginning of the season, but they just play a hard schedule. And just a lot of these teams, they play hard schedules. So it's interesting. Go and do your own if you really want to, fight me on it. It was a lot. It was a lot to do. There was a lot of games. There's this many games that I had to go through. Like, that's a lot of games that you had to adjust and go through and just kind of anticipate. So, will these stand? Absolutely freaking not. It's way too early playoff picture, but I just wanted to have some fun. It's so early that I'm assuming most of these teams will make it, but not all these teams. I will 100% be wrong because I'm always wrong with my preseason projections. So, yeah, it is what it is. But thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. I love you. Spread love, peace, and joy, and come back next week for more football news.